Proven Winning Overlays video 17Q, and we're at Tampa Bay Downs once again. I've highlighted the race condition. This one comes up a double preferred race. As you can see, I highlighted, play with the screen here, hang on a minute. I highlighted the okay, that's where I wanted it. I highlighted the maiden special weight condition. I also highlighted the T for turf as the surface of this race. We call that a double preferred race. Over here on the Horse Racing Digest page, you can click on the laptop computer there that says over 400 videos, or the handicapping video link there. Take you right here, and on the right hand side right here is my listing of value odds and overlay preferred races. Now, here's the deal on this. Of all the horses that win that have the value odds icon and high odds, they have the value odds icon and high odds and they win, those horses, 90% of them come out of these races. So for that particular instance, we focus on these. I got maiden claiming races, all maiden claiming, all maiden special weight races, which this video here is one of those. Claiming races with a condition. You'll see it'll say CLM, and then the claiming price, let's say 20,000, and then you'll have a bunch of numbers and letters. That's what you call conditional claimer. Not to be confused with an OCLM, which is an optional claimer. That's more like an allowance race. So an OCLM is not a preferred race. But a CLM with a bunch of numbers and letters following, like 9 winners of 2 lifetime, letter B, letter Y, etc., etc., preferred race. Bottom and low level claimers, you're looking at $5,000 to $10,000 claiming races. Most tracks, maybe Churchill Downs, Santa Anita, places like that, Belmont, you might be looking at 16 as the bottom, or 12. But for the most part, 5,000 to 10,000 is your bottom to low at most tracks. And then you got all races run over the turf, and this video here is also run on the turf, so it's a double qualifier. And the other one was all races run over a wet track. Those are all the conditions. Now, since the race we're looking at is a turf race and a maiden special weight race, it is a double preferred race, meaning, first of all, preferred races are races that are generally hard to handicap. The betting public is frequently wrong, and that opens the door for overlay odds on another contender in the race. Okay, and in these races, and a double preferred race is where our situation is even stronger. Okay, and usually in preferred races, the betting public will send it in hard on one particular horse. An absurd, sometimes they'll bet an absurd amount of money on a horse. That horse does not win, frequently finishes out of the money, but does not win, and a long shot wins. A long shot that has got a lot to like, as it turns out, including the odds being offered. Now, in this race, first we're going to look for, obviously, the value odds horses. And I've highlighted them for you. Number 10, El Uno. As you can see here, last 3 starts, it's a first-time starter. And number 8, Weekend Hunter, another first-time starter. Okay. As you can see here, there was 3 first-time starters. 1, 2, 3. 2 of them made our criteria for special consideration as a live first-time starter type of angle. There's different criteria that we have. Some of it is we look at the patterns of workouts, the length of the workouts, the distance in between, the pedigree. We don't necessarily consider the speed of the workouts because, in my opinion, well, no, not in my opinion. The fact is that any thoroughbred racehorse can run a fast workout. So that in and of itself means nothing to me. Okay? And especially going into the Derby in May, you're going to see horses working 6 furlongs in 111, 110 and change. And these are horses that are going to ultimately end up the track in the Kentucky Derby. And you may have one horse that works fast that wins, but I'm just saying any thoroughbred can run a fast workout. But what we look at is the pattern of works, the length of works in furlongs, the trainer, the days in between the works, the pedigree. And another thing speaking of trainers, is certain trainers have a knack for having success in getting ready horses to win at first asking. Okay? That's the situation we have here. Now, let me first throw the odds out at you at what was going on in this race. Prado Dash, the obvious top pick and choice in here, shipping from Gulfstream Park, where he was third. Obviously, you consider you're going to have some kind of a drop in class, aren't you? Going from Gulfstream to Tampa, but they send it in hard. And then, of course, you got Carl Nasker as the trainer, El Prado as the sire. I mean, yeah, there's no doubt, and Jim Taffel as the owner, high profile. I mean, there's no doubt that this horse has a lot to like. But to the tune of 40 cents on the dollar on a maiden? I mean, that's a little, much to bet this horse down to 40 cents on the dollar. Okay? In this situation. Now, the second pick in the race, our report picks number 10, El Uno, based on a specific special trainer pattern for first-time starters and other issues, pedigree, etc., etc., becomes our second pick. And here at 15-1 morning line, our true odds of 3.5 to 1, which is 7-2, going off at 50-1, 50 to 1. Weekend Hunter also qualified as with a different part of the special criteria, and it's going off at 30-1. Okay, now we got a double preferred race. We got two value odds horses. One of them at 50-1, and this horse really kind of has more to like, and I'll explain that to you in just a second. But one of them's going off at 50-1, and the other value odds horse is going off at 30-1. When you're dealing with odds like that, ladies and gentlemen, there is not. I mean, the old school is go with the higher odds always. I mean, here, if in doubt, go with the higher odds, and in this case, we would have been right again. Going with the 50-1 shot over the 30-1 shot. But in order, let's just say we want to be real conservative. We don't want to look. Let's just say we want to be real conservative. Say, okay, I got a 50-1 shot and a 30-1 shot in a double preferred race. Okay, this is one of those situations in which you must key the both horses. Okay. I'm going to tell you, I do not like to key more than one horse in a race. In my races, playable races, I like to have one horse focused. But there are some races where can I actually ignore a 30-1 horse and take just the 50-1 horse? Nah. In conservative thinking, that mathematically you got to take both. All right, but the strategy and how we play this stuff is the same no matter whether we have one horse as the key or two. And I'll go over that for you in just a second. Now, let's take a look at El Uno. Okay, first of all, Macho Uno is not exactly what you would call a grass sire. However, he does get his share of grass winners, as does the Dam Sire Wild Again. Definitely, both top and bottom of this pedigree of El Uno can handle a route of ground. So the fact that this horse is starting off his career at a flat mile at 8 furlongs is no issue to me, but based on his pedigree. Okay, now we got trainer Monty Thomas, and you can see here we have the little blue and white trainer icon. That stands for there's a successful trainer pattern involved with this trainer in this situation. And if we want to know what exactly that is for this exact horse, all we got to do is look at the Diamond Report, our Diamond Report, which is the same as this Quick F report, only it has the comments. And we take a look here, and I've highlighted some key issue. Well, I highlighted the name, obviously. But I highlighted the comment that correlates with the icon. Take a look at this in green here. I love this. Trainer knows how to get them ready for a possible big effort in career debut, which is a very special talent. Okay? I cannot tell you how many bombs that we've caught over the years that had this combination. And a lot of them paid pretty close to what this one paid, around almost $100 to win. You know, a lot of them paid, they were up there. Okay, because the betting public, like I said, in this particular race, there's a certain psychology there. You know, the people playing Tampa, they're thinking, okay, I got a Gulfstream shipper who previous to that, no matter however long ago it was at Churchill Downs, trained by Carl Nasker, by sire, great sire El Prado, high-profile owner and Jim Taffel. Okay, all this stuff, yeah, adds up. The horse Prado Dash deserves to be favorite. Okay, but not 40 cents on the dollar. That would make this horse's odds where it was 1.6 to 1 morning line and true odds the same. They bet this horse to 0.4. An incredible underlet. Way too much money on a maiden. I'm sorry. I don't care who the trainer, owner, and sire, and where he shipped from. I don't care if he shipped from the great racetrack in Mars, on the planet Mars. 40 cents on the dollar is nothing to be. There is no horse that deserves 40 cents on the dollar in racing today. Perhaps the only horse that ever deserved that, and I don't even know if that's the case, would have been a horse like Zenyatta. But that's a great racehorse that comes along once every, maybe every decade if we're lucky. So, with that said, I'm not going to dwell on that anymore. Let's take a look at Uno here at 50 to 1, 50 to 1. And what I love about this is the trainer angle that we've established, that the trainer knows how to get them ready, has a good record and a successful record, a successful pattern of getting his first-time starters to win at first asking. There is, wow, as far as impact value, there's hardly anything that can come close to that particular angle when it comes to trainers. It's so overlooked by the betting public. Yet, even though we're here in the United States and we have a wealth of information at our fingertips, the betting public, like I said, there's a certain psychology there. And that's why they let this horse go off at 50 to 1. Now, by using these reports, this becomes obvious to us. I did get an email from one member about this race and said he was watching TVG, and after the race was over, whoever was the broadcasters on TVG, were kind of frustrated that Tampa Bay, that they couldn't, they couldn't figure out the track. How can this horse win? Well, I'm not really sure what the hosts of the broadcasters of TVG are looking at. But if you look at a race with a complete story, which is what these reports do, these reports they present a complete story of every race. Now, in doing that, one of the hosts at least should have been on to El Uno and trainer Monty Thomas. Somewhat. He may not have picked him to win, but he might have said, "Hey, I think this horse could be live at first asking at huge odds. You might want to consider using him." And at least, I say, this would be for them talking, at least in your exotics. But for me talking, screw that. This is the key horse. All right. So now let me get straight to how to put the bet together. I mean, we know we're there. We got a double preferred race. We got a 50-1 shot, and we got a real big reason to like. We got a lot of big reasons to like this horse, and I just, the things that I discussed with you, trainer, pedigree. All right, we got to key both of these, the 10 and the 8. So first thing I'm going to do, we're going to bet them both to win for $10. There's absolutely no problem betting two horses to win when they're somewhere like 50-1 and 30-1. I mean, that's, like I said, I don't like to bet two horses to win, and I don't, with the exception of situations like this. Okay. Well, for the sake of these videos, I do $10 to win on both. Your bet could be more, could be less, depending on your bankroll. And a lot of players do very well just playing these types of situations, just betting to win, and maybe the exacta. Conservative, they do very well. But I have a whole host. I'm a exotic wagering nut myself, so I've got a whole strategy that we use, and the strategy's the same, so there's no guesswork ever. But first thing is first is we got to get our win bet down first, because we do not want to have a 50-1 winner, and somehow we're holding a trifecta ticket, and that doesn't happen to cash with our strategy, and the 50-1 winner, no, no. So we always get the win bet down first. Like I said, some people only bet to win. That's great. Now, after the win bet, we come to the exacta, in which we wheel with all. I always wheel my key horse with all underneath. So that would be a 10 all exacta. Now, since I have two horses in here, I'm going to have to also key the 8 all exacta. Okay? So if the 8 or the 10 wins in here at 50-1 or 30-1, we are guaranteed a win ticket and the exacta. Guaranteed. We are also guaranteed the daily double, because that is the last thing that I wheel, but it was also as the exacta. I wheel daily doubles in these situations. Like, I'll be in the 6th race, the race before this one, and I'll look ahead to the 7th race. I'll say, a double preferred race, turf and maiden special, and 2 value odds horses. Got to do it. All 10, 8, and if it's a rolling double, it is 10, 8 with all in the next race. So if you got rolling doubles, you follow what I'm saying. You want to make sure you get your back wheel and your front wheel. It almost sounds like a country song. You get your front wheel, you get your back wheel in and your front wheel out, all right? And then shake it all about, blah, blah, blah. I'm just in a mood today. All right, so those are your wagers so far. Now, let's look at the trifecta is played like this. We're going to take our key horse, 10, on top, and the 8 we'll put with him on top, alone, those two alone. And then in the second position of the trifecta, we're going to put 3, 10, 8, 1, 5. That represents all the horses in Group A and the top horse in Group B. Group A, of course, is the top 4 picks in every race. And then the top horse in Group B. Those are the ones that go in the second position, and then I always go all for third. And then 10-cent superfecta, you have the fourth position, which you just extended out all for fourth. That is the strategy, no matter whether you're keying 1 horses or 2, it doesn't change. The only thing that changes is at the very top position, where you have either 1 horse or 2 horses. Now, 90% of the time, we're only going to be keying 1 horse. But like I said in several times in this video, this is one of those races where I have to key 2 horses at these type of odds of 50 to 1, 30 to 1. Even though if I had, and I do, had real moxie, even if I had half moxie, I would key the 10 and do a saver win bet on the 8. Okay? And well, but I do have half moxie, at least. And I'd go all out. I'm right, nose to the grindstone, 50 to 1 on second pick. But right there, dead center between the eyes. And just in case, the 8. Win bet saver. That's an option. But in these videos, I throw the conservative approach at you. So I want you to know that you have options. I mean, we have our strategy set, but you have the option of what psychological place can you keep. All right. In any case, that's the deal. Okay, and I think you follow me on that. So obviously, we know that we are first in line with our second pick at El Uno at 50 to 1, and then we could not throw out the 8, but 40 cents on the dollar on Prado Dash. Here we go. El Uno begins from the tough post of post 10 on the turf in a 1 mile of Tampa. That's like starting out on the Dale Mabry Parkway, and then you got to cut into the Oldsmar, Florida, to catch the turn. At nearly 50 to 1, final odds 47 to 1, and the valiantly outlasted a few horses that challenged him for the lead, and he said, this is all me, baby. The big favorite was second, so we're catching everything. We're catching everything. 90. I hate this new Adobe. This is the newest Adobe, and it flashes that thing every time I move the mouse. It's like a little toolbar where I can, make the page bigger and stuff. It's just a little bit annoying, so why don't we move it over here? Okay, right there. 96.60 on the Win Mutual. 289 with the 40-cent favorite second on the exacta. But decent try. Superfecta, huge daily doubles. Let me get you to the payoff screen. Alright, let's cash in our chips. $10 win bet, 483 bucks. Like the exacta I showed you with that heavy favorite second, 289. 289 bucks. We caught our strategy on the trifecta for $1. Returns to us $992.90. I like those numbers. 10-cent super returns for a dime, $397.29. But the big cake was on the daily doubles. And see, the thing is, you can find some tremendous overlays if you're playing the pools, with all tickets, the daily doubles and the exactas. Sometimes you can really, I think a $2,000 double is the biggest of the year so far. Or there was another one we had that I think that was close to that. This is mid-March, so a $2,000 double is about the biggest that you'll ever see for the most part. But of course, with our strategy in wheeling the double with our key horse, 721 coming in, because we had the smarts in the 6th race to look ahead to the 7th race and say, double preferred race, 2 value odds horses. Got to wheel that double coming in. Pew. All right, and then going out, of course we're wheeling it going out, and it was on that side that the double return 2083.20. Boy, that's Tampa's just been always. It's one of my favorite tracks. I mean, it's like Tampa Bay Downs to me is like an ATM machine. Only you can't go to an ATM and scoop up $5,000 or $24,000. Even if you had it in the bank, you're not going to get it. So it's like walking into the bank and the bank noticing you. Yes, Mr. So and so. How much money would you like today? Well, I'll take $4,966.39. Thank you. Even though I just took from you 24,000, the other day, I'll take another $5,000 off your hands. Make it a withdrawal from my account. This is video 409 on this page, and every one of these videos shows you exactly what to do in certain situations that we and what we look for. I encourage you. I'm scrolling down through some of the latest ones. There's a 18 grand hit at Oaklawn, and we're going to catch them in chunks. 1,500, 3,500, 14 grand at Turfway. This is how you make a long-term profit, ladies and gentlemen, in chunks. 4 grand there. Tampa, the ATM machine. Fairground 6,000, Oaklawn 1,700. These are very recently. Gulfstream 25, another 16,000 at Tampa. Tampa Bay has bought my grandchildren a couple years in college just this year alone. Now, they're not going to be going to college for 18 years or so, but I think I've already got both my grandchildren paid through the first 2 years of college just by wagering at Tampa Bay Downs this year from January to March. And I've caught all these monsters. Turfway 26, Gulfstream 1,800. So you're going to catch these shots. You're going to catch these shots at 2,000 and 3,000, and then you're going to, you have 2,000 and 4,000. Tampa, Gulfstream 9,000, 9,000. These are all recent. You're going to catch these, and they all add up at the end of the year to a long-term profit. Okay. I know a lot of horse players like to think that they can make $20 a race profit for 10 races, okay? You say, I'm going to sit down and I'm going to bet Aqueduct today. I'm going to make 20 bucks a race. I'm going to make $200 profit. I'm going to make 20 bucks in every race. Okay, now while this seems like a beautiful story for a movie, in reality, if you do that one time in your life, I think you've beaten the odds there, because that just does not work. Okay, there's too many unpredictable things in racing to say I'm going to make $20 a race for 10 straight races. Because you have no control over the odds. You don't know if there's a race coming up that there's going to be a 50-to-1 shot. You don't know in advance until you are sitting here looking at the race, or if you don't want to watch the race, my unsolicited, unpaid support for Twin Spires for wagering, because they offer the conditional wagering, where you can say, I want to make my bets, but I want to only place my bets minimum odds of whatever, let's say 12-to-1, at 0 minutes to post. Place my bets if my horse is those odds are higher. If my horse gets bet down below those odds, don't place my bets. That is conditional wagering at Twin Spires. It's like the greatest thing since ice cream. Okay, so that's for those of you who don't want to. Maybe you've got things to do that are just going to keep you busy that day. But hey, there could be $5,000 to $20,000 looming at Tampa that you could make on the side while you're out gallivanting around to make your whatever did you make in a day. or taking care of the family, obligations. I understand. Nobody's like me where I focus on horse racing 24 hours a day. I understand that, but see, that's my life. It's my career. It's my life's work. I understand it, but you have obligations to your family and your job and stuff. That's why I say TwinSpires is great, because you can do this. You can make your bets in the morning and know that your bets will only be placed on these horses if they meet the odds, and you don't have to worry about, well, heck, if they bet the horse down to 5-1 or 6-1, I don't really want to be involved. I mean, that's not worth. This is gambling, even though it's legal. This is gambling, and you need to have an advantage in the odds to be successful long term, and that is by betting overlays. Okay. If you got it out of the way and it works for you, how's it working for you? Take a look at this page. There's 409 perfect examples on how it works for us very well. Anyway, we're at the 30-minute mark here. This has been a long-winded video, but I was very animated today, so I wanted to take advantage of that. So I'm going to let you go on that note. Thank you very much for viewing, and 2, good luck with all your wagers.